Joining us now, Congressman Dan Meuser from House Small Business, along with Fox News contributor Liz Peek. Congressman, you heard that report, and now the estimate of the cost is triple. But the president and the press secretary again today attacking GOP voters as MAGA and semi-fascists. Is this a distraction from how unfair this bailout is?
Wow, he's really the divider in chief, isn't he? I mean, I didn't think he could be any more insulting to the American public and my constituents than the so-called Inflation Reduction Act, which actually increased inflation. Now we come across with this forgiveness plan on perhaps as much as $1 trillion in loans. Certainly no life lessons getting taught here, Liz. This thing is a moral hazard, but probably far worse are the substantive impacts it's going to have. And my constituents are just hopping mad. But in the end, I mean, the impact is going to be higher inflation. You know, Penn Wharton predicts it at 1.2 to 2.7 on top of the nearly 8% we have now. Of course, increasing the deficit. And think about the disaster it's going to be for the college loan program moving forward.
Well, that's the thing, what the congressman just said. Yeah, Liz, what the congressman just said, you know, the president keeps saying this will help the lower class. It won't. Many didn't go to college. Now they have to pay for it. It's something like 2/3 of all student debt is owned by the top 40% of households. They've got graduate degrees, they're doctors, attorneys, MBA executives. What do you think of that?
I think that's who the Democrat Party is now, Liz. What is it James Carville called them? Doofus, coastal elites. That's kind of who's in charge here. And the idea that this might win back blue-collar workers, wasn't that something the Democrats were interested in just a couple of years ago? Boy, is that not going to happen here. I think it's a double problem. Number one, voters associate all these big spending plans with inflation, and they're right. That's what causes inflation. That's what caused inflation. Democrat blowout spending programs. Number two, most of those voters aren't going to benefit from this. So I actually think this is an unbelievably stupid move. And yeah, I mean, Biden has to distract from it. Even his own party, even economists in his own party are really whooped up about how a terrible idea this is. So I don't know what the constituency is.
Yeah, and you know, voters in 13 states will have to pay state taxes on this bailout. It's not a free ride. Everyone's going to have to pay higher federal taxes for the bailout, too. And now a major fight has broken out among top Democrats saying this is not a good thing. First, you're going to see Senator Elizabeth Warren again avoid answering if this is unfair. And other Democrats say, yeah, it is. Watch this.
I think a lot about fairness. And I think about how education debt is different from other debt. I look at it this way. I wanted to be a public school teacher from the time I was in second grade. My daddy ended up as a janitor, and there was no money for me to go to college.
I think, you know, during the presidential, I was the one that said rich kids, we shouldn't be paying for their college. You just can't staple a diploma for free under everyone's chair. Part of that is I think we need to focus on apprenticeships and filling the hard-to-fill jobs.
People are getting crushed with inflation, crushed with gas prices, food prices, and all the rest. And I think a targeted approach right now really does send the wrong message. There's a lot of people out there making 30, 40 grand a year that didn't go to college, and they need help as well.
Democrats, I'm a progressive. I want to help folks, but I think this is terrible policy.
Yeah, Paul Begala, Congressman, is saying that money could have gone toward free pre-K, pre-kindergarten for 3- and 4-year-olds, especially for parents who are working 2 jobs, trying to pay for higher inflation and gas and now possibly higher taxes.
It was not targeted, as you just said. 40% are in the, or 40% in the upper echelons of income. This thing is a bad campaign promise gone worse, right? They rolled this out, in my view, to make good to academia for a promise, and now they've got an initiative that is just going to do some real bad things, to put it mildly, to our economy. It's already happening. Look at the response for interest rates. Inflation will continue to go up. And what's worse, it's not a fix. We're bailing the boat, not fixing the hole on the bottom.
You know, to what the congressman just said, Liz, Senator Elizabeth Warren says that Democrats do have plans on the table for a bill about, quote, transparency on college costs. Liz, you and I and the congressman and others have talked about the middle class already know about this. They've been dealing with tuition gouging for generations, that this is a bailout for the corrupt college industry. Where's the RICO Act for, racketeering and antitrust actions, raising tuition at the same levels in lockstep?
Look, Liz, the whole system is a mess, right? We should go back to private lending. The government should never have been put in this position where they're basically funneling trillions of dollars into a college education system and demanding nothing in return. That's the problem. There's no accountability. So you can spend a fortune getting a PhD, as Ron DeSantis said, in gender studies. Who's to say no? There should be some regulator of where this money goes, whether it's productive, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the liberals are completely happy to bear down on private schools and charge those schools with not making good on their promises and not making good use of the money. What about the entire university system? I mean, there is no accountability. And because the government took over student lending, there is absolutely zero recourse. I mean, I think it's a mess, and it really should be unwound.
And Liz, Congressman, I'd like your final word on this. Tim Ryan, he's believed to be in a vulnerable spot. He made a good point, though, that one of our biggest mistakes as a nation is to have wiped out shop trades, like schools that were teaching how to be a plumber or electrician. And that really hits the middle class and the blue-collar worker hard, who are going to have to pay for this bailout. Your word on that, Congressman, and then you, Liz.
Sure. Just quickly, career and technical schools are booming in my district for good reason. They're developing skills, these young people, and going right into the workforce without any debt. So, and sometimes they do have some debt. This initiative does not pay that off through the CTI schools, and they're now taxpayers stuck paying off those who went to college and wouldn't work to pay it off.
Liz Peek, your final word.
Yeah, I mean, let's just leave it at this. It's unfair. And the people who are working hard to either pay off their loans or put their kids through college and playing by the rules, they get completely messed up by this. And I think that's horrible. And yes, vocational schools is a very good alternative. They should have been included.
Congressman Meuser and Liz Peek, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you.